My name is Mike, and I had been a police officer for 10 years, patrolling the streets of Annapolis, Maryland. My routine had become second nature: start the shift with a briefing, get updates on wanted suspects, and then hit the road. Some nights were quiet, just a few traffic stops or noise complaints. Other nights I was running around until sunrise, but nothing could have prepared me for the night I'm about to tell you about. Before I joined the force, I thought I had a future in football. I was a solid running back in high school, fast and determined. But one torn ACL later, my dreams of a scholarship vanished. Law enforcement seemed like the next best thing, a way to put my discipline and endurance to good use. Over time, I grew to love it, helping people, protecting my community. It felt right. But by 2024, after a decade in the job, the weight of it all was beginning to wear on me. That summer, we had a string of robberies across Pasadena. The suspect's name was Toby D. Toby was a medium build, dark hair, known for driving a black Ram Rebel. He was quick, always managing to slip away before backup arrived. Weeks passed without a solid lead, and frustration grew within the department. Then one night I spotted him. I was cruising near Mountain Road just past midnight. The roads were mostly empty except for a few scattered cars. That's when I saw it, a black Ram moving slowly, almost too cautiously. The moment the driver saw my patrol car, he hit the gas. Instinct kicked in. I flipped on my lights and pulled him over. Approaching the vehicle, I could see the driver was tense. I asked for his license and registration. He hesitated before handing them over, and as soon as I saw the name, Toby D, my pulse quickened. This was the guy. Same name, same description. His hand trembled slightly on the steering wheel. "Step out of the vehicle," I said, keeping my voice calm. He muttered something about me having the wrong person. Then, just as I reached for my radio to call for backup, he floored it. I sprinted back to my cruiser, adrenaline pumping, and took off after him. He led me down a dark side street, away from the main roads. I radioed in my location, requesting backup. The chase took us toward Magathy Cemetery, an old place with towering trees and wrought iron gates that cast eerie shadows even under the streetlights. As we rounded the final bend, I expected to see his taillights. The road ahead was empty, no sign of him. I slowed to a crawl, scanning left and right, my hands slick on the wheel. Even with my spotlight sweeping the area, I couldn't see a thing. I parked and stepped out, gun drawn. The silence was suffocating. No cars, no wind, no crickets, just heavy stillness. I approached the cemetery gates cautiously, my flashlight casting long, shifting shadows across the gravestones. Then, from the corner of my eye, I saw movement. A black Ram sat partially hidden behind some overgrown bushes. My pulse spiked. I inched closer, flashlight trembling slightly in my grip. The driver's seat was empty, the door slightly ajar. Someone had gotten out. Scanning the cemetery, I saw a dark figure slipping between the headstones. My radio crackled. Backup was still a few minutes away. Those minutes felt like an eternity. I stepped through the iron gate, my boots crunching softly against the gravel. Every monument and tombstone seemed to shift in the flickering light. Then, a sharp crunch behind me. I spun, weapon raised. 3 figures stood near a tall, crumbling monument, all dressed in black, their faces hidden by the darkness. But I could tell they were unnatural and terrifying. They weren't ghosts, they weren't shadows. They were the undead, and my gut told me to run, but my body wouldn't move. 2 of them took a few steps forward, reaching out, and every movement making bone-crunching noises. And then all the lights over the cemetery went out. When the lights came back on, everyone, including the cop car, was gone. Off in the distance, the sound of an engine humming from a black Ram. As the Ram pulled off to find its next victim, an across the cemetery. Thank you for checking out Sinister Stories for You channel. If you love our spine-chilling tales and terrifying horror stories, don't forget to stab that subscribe button, murder that bell icon so you never miss a new horror-filled adventure. Your support helps keep the nightmares coming. Please comment below and let us know what kind of twisted, sinister stories you want next.